Hi, everyone. Hi, happy Wednesday. How are we doing? Welcome to another night of sprinting and streaming. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. It's the day before Halloween. I do not have a costume. I was like, oh, maybe I'll wear a witch's hat or something or some cat ears. I do not have a single piece of costume anything in my house, apparently. So, I am dressed as a cozy writer tonight. I hope that's acceptable. Let me know who's here. Hello, James. Hi, Mars. Hi, Malin. And hi, Laura. Thank you. This is one of my favorite sweaters. I think I will probably have this sweater for the rest of my life. I think I will never get rid of it. I thrifted it when I was in college, and I had a very strong thrifted sweater game when I was in college. That's kind of like all I wore were 80s and 90s men's sweaters, and I have gotten rid of a lot of them since then, but there are two that remain, and this is one of them. Um, but yes, I love it. Oh, I'm so glad you can stay, and hopefully you're not staying up too late. Past your bedtime. And Laura's on the treadmill. That's awesome, Laura. Are you doing a challenge right now? Are you like walking to a location? I would love to know. I'm so inspired by your walking challenges. Malin is here because the time change having happened in the UK and not in the US. I love that. We're in our magic hour where we are only 4 hours apart, I think, for a very short time. That's lovely. Um, it is still 11 p.m. though, so we'll enjoy your presence while it lasts. Um, Amar said, that's me with a sweater I got earlier this month. I've only worn it twice so far, but it's literally my favorite thing I own. So exciting. I love a new sweater. Is there anything better than a new sweater? I doubt it. But let me know what you guys are working on tonight. I have a goal of writing 500 words tonight. I'm working on Hera's book as per usual. I was very good and wrote 500 words on Monday and 500 words on Tuesday, so I want to keep my streak alive and write 3 days in a row. Do another 500 tonight. And if I hit that goal, then I'll switch over to listening to my audiobook and probably doing some bullet journaling. I'm currently listening to what's it called? The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, which is this cozy fantasy book that's been popping off lately. And I'm very much enjoying it. It is really sweet. But I have been saving Adasm, A Dark and Secret Magic, for reading on All Hallows Eve tomorrow. So I really need to finish the Spell Shop so that I can start a DASM tomorrow. Because I hate dual wielding books. It's like my least favorite thing ever. So that is my second goal for tonight. Cody, hi! Came at the perfect time. Just got my new keyboard and I'm wanting to break it in. Oh my gosh, first we have new sweaters in the chat and now we have new keyboards. I mean, this is just my kind of energy. I'm so excited for that. Amazing. Okay, the trail that you're walking is a trail that people accused of witchcraft in England were walked down. Okay, spooky treadmill challenge. So aptly themed for tonight. Hello, Katie. Cody is drafting project terms and conditions. Goal for the stream is to finish chapter 1 before I have to go make dinner. Okay, we will get into our first sprint quickly then. Hi, Devasha. Oh my gosh, so many friends tonight. Wow, I'm working on rereading Crimson Strings before diving into finally finishing a draft of it. So exciting. That's so fun to be doing vampires here at the end of October. I love that for you, Laura. Mars is doing some reading. I'm 16 out of 48 chapters for Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. I wanted to end the month on a spooky read, but it's not as spooky as I was hoping so far. Okay, well, the month is not over yet. Hopefully, you could switch gears or speed read this one and start something else. Hi, Tyler. Thanks for coming. Malin is also going to read Adasm tomorrow. Such a good day to read it. Yeah, I think it's because I got the special edition in the middle of the month, so I kind of already like had all the FOMO of missing out on reading it like around release day when everyone else read it. So by the time I got it, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna save it for October 31st. And that has made it fun. Mars is also reading The Spell Shop next month for a book club. Oh, it's a perfect book club book. If your book club friends also like fantasy, this will be very sweet and fun. Everything else I'm reading is nonfiction, so I can read it all at the same time. Pirate Reverse Harem title. Oh, okay. We talked about this on a stream earlier. I like really don't want to admit that I read this. Devasia is the problem. Like, this is the most embarrassing thing I've ever said on the internet. um, I literally don't even remember the title. I have to look it up because it was just like, it's literally called Pirate's Witch. Pirate's Witch. I really felt like I had to put my brain through the dishwasher after that one. Katie is just doing a little bit of writing in the royalty romances before I go into actually drafting in November. Very exciting. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to just do a little project hopping before we really buckle down and concentrate on something for like 30 days, right? Cody said if you want real spooky, I really enjoyed September House. Very spooky demon in the basement vibes. Oh, anything with a basement, I'm immediately afraid. um, Cody has read A Dazzling but haven't read the other two. Wait, which series are you talking about, Cody? Because the book that I think we're talking about does not have sequels out yet. But if there's another book series that Adasm, the acronym applies to, I'd love to know. Malin said, okay, but the books you don't want to admit to reading are the juicy ones. Well, there you go. You can look it up. And don't say I didn't warn you. Mara said, I was really hoping to get to September House in, well, September, but I ran out of time, but glad to hear it's being recommended. Yeah, just me and my 12 closest friends, now 11. Perhaps the 12th person did not enjoy the sound of Pirate's Witch. It says dark, why choose? It's not good. It's not good. I really like did not enjoy the character building at all, unfortunately. But the reason why I read it to the end was that the characters were kind of put in a tricky situation, and I wanted to see how the author was going to resolve things. Like I had a theory of how she was going to resolve. There's like a curse basically involved. It's very Pirates of the Caribbean coded. And so I basically wanted to DNF after probably like 3 pages, but immediately needed to know how the curse was going to get resolved and if I was going to be right about it. Like I was just reading it out of spite. And I didn't enjoy the way it was resolved. I would not recommend it. They are not always the nicest to each other. Was September House the book where the walls bleed? Cody, let us know. A darker shade of magic. Okay, that's yeah. I don't blame you for that one. That's an easy wire to cross. Only thing I've heard about the September House, and yes, it is the book where the walls bleed. That sounds very spooky. I don't know where this came from, but spooky. Yeah, it was like I was thinking, oh, maybe they'll do this. That would be really dumb, but that's probably what's going to happen. And then that resolution that we've been building up to the whole book happened off page. And it was even dumber than I predicted. Like there was actually just no twist. You know, you're kind of expecting like, oh, I bet there's going to be something unexpected to the way this is going to get solved, right? Like you have the it's like your 5-part ending, right? Where the characters go in with a plan, the plan gets upended, they have to make a new plan in the moment. Like that's very beat sheet-esque, I guess. And there was just no second plan, no twist, no thinking on the feet. It just got fixed off page. But that's not really what that book was there to do, you know? Um, yeah, no, it's not. Trust me, if a book is like fun trash, like popcorn trash, like I enjoyed myself, I will tell you. I will be so honest and so for real about that. This one was just straight up like not enjoyable. Yeah, off page, so bad. Yeah, the climax of the entire reason why the story's happening. Um, oh my gosh. Okay, I do not recall where the cannibalism came from. I admit to doing some skimming. Um, yeah, I I take no ownership over that. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna forget that that was not on my list this year. And we will get into our first sprint because we all have some work to do. So I do have our usual 4 sprints pulled up for the night. I like to do kind of short, quick sprints if you haven't been with me before. So we'll do a 15, a 20, a 25, and then a 10-minute cool down sprint. So I think for me, that helps me not dick around and waste time because it feels like the sprinting time is limited and I got to get the sprints in. You know what I mean? So I will go ahead and share our timers. I picked out a bunch of spooky Halloween ones from Laura, which is so fun. So here's our first jack-o'-lantern sprint, guys. Have fun and good luck. All right, spooky, spooky. That's the end of our sprint. How did we do? Let me know how you did on your first sprint. I got about 209 words, so that was pretty good. I'm starting a new scene, which is always just a little bit slower. I finished a scene last night during my writing session, like exactly as I hit the 500 words that I wanted, and then I was like, great, close laptop, go to bed. And I didn't do anything to help set me up for my next scene. So a little slow, but still good for me. Um, and since we're here on the night before Hallows Eve, I wanted to know if we were all going to show up at a Halloween party tonight. What would you show up as? What would you walk in the door dressed as? I want to know everyone's costumes. Um, I think and I hope someone here will get this reference, but Luke and I planned if we were going to do Halloween this year, we really wanted to be Gale and Shadowheart from Baldur's Gate 3. And I was like so prepared to grow out my bangs and maybe even like dye my hair even darker than it already is. We were gonna go all out. We ended up not having a Halloween party this year. Luke and I usually host it, but we didn't for a number of reasons this year. So Shadowheart may have to wait until next year. And I'm sure I will still be just as obsessed with that game next year as I am this year. So it'll still be a lot of fun. Laura said she would be the bride of Frankenstein, which is always so fun. Like, that would be so fun to go to like Goodwill or a thrift store and pick out the most like floofiest wedding dress, I think, and then just destroy it. Like, I think that would be really fun. I love this idea, Mars, reusing a Keyleth cosplay that I made for a Ren fair a few years ago. That's awesome. I'm finally watching season 3 of Vox Machina. I think we have watched the first 2 episodes, so we're behind, but I will catch up. That sounds so fun. Um, Katie dressing as Chapel Roan, specifically her Joan of Arc at whatever award show that was. That is such a great idea, Katie, and so iconic. Like, I was so obsessed with all of her looks at the VMAs, I think it was. Oh my gosh, that would be a great costume. How would you do the chainmail? That's the question. Malin would do a Winx costume. I don't know, just want to be a fairy, and I love that. Um, James would be either Odin or a medieval monk. Love that idea. Love that idea. Amazing. I'm skipping around here in the comments. Yes, lots of love for Chapel Roan and for Keyleth. Yeah, I think we would really pull it off. Like, especially if Luke grows out his hair, we could really do this. I feel like it would be redemption for in college we always wanted to do from Game of Thrones because Game of Thrones was huge when we were in college. We wanted to be Oberyn and Marjorie Tyrell, and we never got around to it even though we were so excited about it. So I feel like they have been phased out and replaced by our new dream costume, which is Gale and Shadowheart. Mars has not dressed up for Halloween since pre-Panini, but this year we don't live in an apartment building, so we might have kids coming to the doors. I want to be dressed up to hand out candy. That's so great, and I'm so jealous. We do not get trick-or-treaters on our street, and it makes me really sad. Katie has not dressed up properly in years because in college it was about getting sloshed, so I was either a devil or an angel. And you know what? That works. That's perfectly serviceable. I almost showed up tonight having drawn on like a little like cat whiskers with eyeliner, and then I was like, no, no, there's too high a chance that that would not fully come off without so much scrubbing, and I do have to be on camera tomorrow morning for work. So I decided against it. Devasia would probably be an X-Men, probably Rogue. Oh my gosh, that's another one on my list, Devasia, like with the bomber jacket and like the white hair, like super classic. Oh my god, it's such a good one. That's such a good one. Only time I ever did a proper serious costume was Beetlejuice. That's a great pick. We live on the top of a hill, so we probably won't get many trick-or-treaters, but there are at least 2 houses on our block that have kids who might come by. So what you have to do, Mars, is since you live on top of the hill, you have to reward the trick-or-treaters that make it up the hill. And you need to be the house that gives out the king-size candy bars. And then word will spread amongst the children year after year that if they put in the effort to walk up the hill to that house, they will get a king-size candy bar. You know, like I still remember the houses of my childhood on my street growing up that gave out king-size candy bars or that gave out certain types of candy, and they were consistent. And we knew what to expect. And I just think that's such a fun part about trick or treat. But as far as what we got done for that sprint, Mars read 5 chapters, which is a lot. The best part about this book is the short chapters and easy writing style. Nice. Malin reread my words for demons and cut 500 words and then rewrote 100. Dang, that's a lot for 15 minutes. My goodness. Which feels good. It was too clunky and slow before, and I like it better now. Great. Excellent. Katie fed the dogs and ate some donuts. Now my document is pulled up, so it'll be time to write. Good. I'm glad we had a good warm-up sprint. Mars has also not seen season 3, but that's okay. If I can finish it by like mid-November, I'll be happy. I'm just so afraid of getting spoiled because I actually have not watched Critical Role, so I know nothing. Luke, I think, knows everything, but I don't know anything. So I'm trying to avoid the spoilers. There's a girl group called Cat's Eye, and the 6 members dressed as the Winx girls this year. They look so good. That's such a fun idea. I love bringing back the Winx girls. For the chainmail, I have no idea. I'd have to buy some chainmail. I'm not crafty, so this is fully a fantasy dream. That's okay. We're living in the fantasy costume world right now. My family always gave out the full-size candy bars, and I think my dad still does. He says it's to garner votes for when he eventually runs for mayor. That's great. So you have to carry on the tradition then. I'm glad your father recognizes the power of the full-size candy bar. The last actual costume I did, like at Disney Bound the last couple of years, was Poison Ivy. My friend was Harley, and I made the costumes myself. If Grilly didn't know she was gay, that should have been a sign. Oh my gosh. I mean, Harley and Ivy are so iconic. They will never stop being great Halloween costumes, right? Making them yourself is also such a slay. The best costume I ever did was the Betty and Veronica costumes my bestie Tiara and I did that I mention literally every time costumes are being discussed. I don't know who Betty and Veronica are. Can you remind me? Sorry. Laura said, it's so weird reading my draft and it's actually reading like a full-on story. Like, how did I do that? Oh my gosh, I love that for you, Laura. That's the fun part about letting a draft breathe for a little while, to the point where you don't really remember all the sentences word for word anymore, and you can kind of like be surprised by yourself. It's a very like vain feeling, but also so fun. And it's like proof of concept, you know what I mean? So fun. Archie comics. Okay. Sorry. Oh, okay, Riverdale. Right. Sorry, I'm like a pop culture uh grandma. Uh, nice. My best costume was when I dressed as Marilyn Monroe the last Halloween I was blonde. Blonde Katie? I cannot imagine. My friend even snapped a picture of me on a grate, but alas, that was lost to an old Instagram. Oh my gosh, you should go get a screenshot just, for the memes, because that needs to live on somewhere. That sounds really iconic. Fun. All right, what say we to our next sprint, everybody? That was a good warm up. And now I know what costumes to imagine you all in when you leave your comments. um, you can imagine me a shadow heart with a sassy attitude. And I'm going to pull up our 20-minute sprint. This is a jack-o'-lantern sprint. And once again, I have to say thank you to Laura for really coming through and making all of the timers I ever use, but there's so many Halloween ones to choose from. It like makes me sad that I can't like use them more. I have to save them for this very special time of year. So we got to enjoy them while we can. Um, Malin will go to sleep during the sprint. Good night. Thanks for joining. All right. So good luck, everybody. Here's your 20-minute sprint. All right, y'all. That's the end of our sprint. How did we do? That was great for me. I got my 500 words for the night, so that was great. 521 actually. So I got a decent way into this scene, and I know what I'm doing now, which is fantastic. And I feel like I'll be able to finish it off. So that's great. But on the next sprint, I'll probably switch to listening to my audiobook, The Spell Shop, and doing my bullet journal for November. Holy crap. This month went by quick. But let me know. Thank you, Mars. Thank you. Yeah, I know. 500 doesn't sound or feel like a lot, but I haven't been writing very much the past couple of weeks. So just saying that I've written 3 nights in a row does feel very nice. Feels nice to be in the manuscript, instead of having to like refresh myself on where I am and what's happening every single time I open it. um, Katie skipped around scenes, but I've written 1,978 words total today. That is excellent. Excellent. Mars fed the cats, grabbed my laptop charger from the other room, and read 2 more chapters. Nice work. Um, Let me see. I also asked on the topic of Halloween, did you have any Halloween traditions as a kid? I love talking about Halloween. I think for me, what stands out the most was like decorating for Halloween. My mom was an elementary school teacher, and so she would get the magazines for teachers that was like split up into seasons. And so you could order like your Thanksgiving decorations, your summer decorations, your Christmas decorations. And so whenever it came time for Halloween, she would give us that magazine and we could like circle anything that we wanted to decorate the house. And it had not just classroom stuff, but also like party supplies. Um, Real deal, like big spiders and mesh cobwebs and fake eyeballs and like all it was just like a kid's dream come true. And my parents were so down to let us do anything for Halloween. And looking back, I'm like, oh my God, that was so awesome that they were so supportive of us and Halloween. Basically, the kids would be in charge of whatever our outdoor decorations were like on trick or treat night. We had a front porch and we loved creating a maze for like trick or treaters to have to walk through and get scared. And like we would put up fog lights and like we went so hard making gravestones like leading up because we had a dark, scary, long driveway. So we really leaned into that. And it was just so fun as a kid, like having control over that creative vision and having your parents just let you go hog wild. It was so fun. Let me see. Laura said carving pumpkins on newspaper and squishing the guts between our toes, which is just such a visceral description. That's so great. I did talk about the pumpkin punch that I have. I now have a glass to enjoy. JK joined us. Hi, how are you? Halloween was very big in my family. My mom made costumes. My dad made scarecrows with silly and scary faces out of newspapers and old clothes. We carved pumpkins, and my brother was the scooper of the guts. We had a cute cul-de-sac neighborhood where the families took turns hosting parties, and we had a ton of spooky decorations. Ah, the nostalgia. So fun living on a party street. Like, honestly, I aspire to bring back parties and party streets. Mars said we would go trick-or-treating kind of early compared to most so that we would be back in time to hand out the full-size candy bars, and we'd also watch the Ghost Hunters Halloween live special. Oh my gosh, Ghost Hunters is such a throwback. Oh, love that. Any other memories in the chat? Yes, bring back party streets. I want like the adult Halloween parties of like why am I blanking? Hocus Pocus, you know what I mean? All out, everybody's in costume, commitment to the bit, you know what I mean? Um, yeah, starting is always the hardest part. As I found out this week, I'm also trying to just get back into it. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Starting is the worst. There's a cat in a backpack on the group bike ride he's doing tonight. We'll report back if he manages to get a picture, and he did. Good. I always love seeing a cat in a backpack. Hi, Miley. Welcome. Thanks for being here. We have plenty of sprinting left to do, so don't worry. Um, I don't know what a cat is doing on a bike, but I hope he's enjoying himself. I hope he's having a good time. All right, I will go ahead and get us into our longest sprint of the night. It's going to be 25 minutes. Here we go. I love this timer so much. Like, just the spookiness, I had to pull it out. You know I had to do it. All right, have a good 25-minute sprint, everybody. All right, everyone. That's the end of our long sprint for the night. So let me know how you did. That was very good for me. I moved on from writing since I hit my writing goal and just worked on my bullet journal. And I didn't get too far. I'm doing my spread for November, and I guess I'm realizing now how long it takes me to do this. Like that was the whole sprint was literally just that and picking out some stickers that are fall-like. And I have this sheet of pumpkins that I'm saving for November because I used all my more like witchy ones for October. And I need to pick out my washi tape. So that's what I'll be doing for the rest of the night. But let me know how you did. Let me see here. Mars lost track of what chapter I started on, but I think I read 4 more chapters. Oh my gosh. I was listening to my audiobook the whole time and I don't think I finished a chapter. You were flying through it. Miley just started filling out a Notion template for November's work in progress. Too much Pinterest temptation. I relate to this, but is there anything more fun than decorating a Notion page? Like, I don't think so. It's so fun. Let me see. So for our last Halloween themed question of the night, I want to know the most controversial thing I could ask, which is what is the best kind of candy to get as a trick-or-treater? And Laura said Twix and Almond Joy, and I fully agree with the Twix. I do love an Almond Joy sometimes, but I bet that's a controversial take, Laura. I know coconut can be very divisive, right? Um, Reese's Pumpkins, but I'll also accept a regular peanut butter cup, and I think this is a correct answer. Margot agrees. A, they're just overall the best, and B, if you didn't like them, they were worth their weight in gold for the childhood candy bartering system. And not only that, but also for the parent bartering system, if, like me, your father is obsessed with Reese's peanut butter cups. Because I would sometimes let my dad have one of my Reese's if he would do something for me. Like, my dad could definitely be bought out with Halloween candy. That's for sure. Um, also fond of Rice Krispie treats, Snickers, and Butterfingers, though I haven't had a Butterfinger since 2012 because I stopped eating them when I got braces. Yeah, the Butterfingers, bottom tier for me. I would not even trade them. I would just give them to my brother and be like, get them out of my sight. Get them out of my pumpkin and put them in your pumpkin. I don't want them. Always the left Twix. In the fancy neighborhoods that give out full size or king size, there is no match to the combo of textures in that candy bar, and I agree with this. Twix is top tier for me as well. Let me see. I think I got everybody's candy opinions. I'm so glad that we all agree that Reese's and Twix are the best. Crunchy is my favorite texture, so I was a fiend for Butterfingers. And we have another Almond Joy lover, underrated hero. Okay, you and Laura agree on the Almond Joy. Let me see here. When I set up my bullet journal or reading journal, I can't talk. When I set up my bullet journal or reading journal for the month, I always pop on a movie and just work through that because it usually takes me between 1.5 to 2 hours, perfect movie length. Yeah. Yeah, I have to do mine over several sittings because I get a stiff neck. I'm like, I'm sure during that sprint, if you looked at me, I was like hunching like this. Like tonight, I will probably just do the calendar, and there's like 3 other pages that I do every month that will just be tomorrow Anna's problem. This is my first time using Notion. So fun. Hopefully it makes my process less chaotic. Are you making a writing page? What are the contents of the page? Please, let me pick your brain. I'm trying so hard to become a Notion girly, but I mean, as as we've been talking about, I'm still very married to physical mediums. Um, and so for some things, Notion is working really well for me, but I have a very short-term memory, so I need to write things and have them like in front of my face. If I don't look up like notion.com that day, I'm not going to remember anything that's in there. Um, Let me see here. I wasn't allowed to have almond joy because my older sister is deathly allergic to nuts. None allowed in the house. Holy moly. Halloween must have been really stressful for your family. I can imagine. I mean, I'm sure your sister knew what to avoid and what not to touch and everything, but that would make me so nervous as a parent. I'd be like, let me go through your entire haul first, before you just open anything. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there was one family on my street growing up where their kid was allergic to something. I think it was a type of walnut. And so they gave out apples and bananas at trick or treat. And it was very sad. It was very sad. And we kind of avoided their house, unfortunately, because we didn't want a banana. um, I use the template Dami put in the Discord server. I'm also much more of a fan of physical books and journals, but then I ended up with 12 different places of notes for my projects. But I am setting up the characters and the locations so I have some bones to work with once I start drafting. Miley, this is so exciting, and I'll have to check that out. I love Dami. She's like one of my new favorite channels to watch. Oh my goodness. I will try out anything she recommends. So I definitely will take a look at this template for sure. Oh my gosh! And here she is. Tommy. Oh my goodness. This is so fun. Lurkers sound off. I want to know who else is here. Amazing. Amazing. Everybody go check out Tommy's channel 100%. Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, look at my little blush that's going on right now. All right, well, we are just in time for our last sprint of the night, you guys. This is going to be our cool down sprint. It's going to be just a quick one to get all our ducks in a row, get our notes tied up, our Notion templates in a good place, and help ourselves out for next time. And if you're new to my streams, we have a little tradition on the last sprint of the night. You can pop in the chat either a favorite line that you worked on tonight from your work in progress, or you can share one good thing that happened to you this week, and we will end on a little cute moment of gratitude. So, yeah, that's our tradition. Be thinking on that. And I will pull up our 10-minute bat timer. Here we go. Where's my mouse? You'd think I would get quicker, but I'm only getting slower. All right, here's our last cool down sprint, everybody. Good luck. All right, everyone. I'm sure that went by very quickly, but that's the end of our last sprint. How did we do? I am once again astounded at by how slowly I bullet journal. I just did that little, ooh, a bunch of stuff just fell out, border at the top. Apparently, like my process for bullet journaling is just thinking and staring and going through my stickers and going, do I want to use this? No. Do I want to use this? Yes. And just considering, for many minutes if I want to cut the tail off of this Q and make it an O. And I think the answer is yes. So let me know how you did. Mars read 2 more chapters. Oh my gosh, I feel like you made so much progress on your reading during this stream, Mars. I'm not sure if you were planning on finishing the book tonight so you could move on to your Halloween spooky book, but I feel like it's possible. Yes, more love for the pumpkin stickers. I'm so happy about them. And yeah, let me see, let me scroll up. Yay! Let me know what you're working on, Dami. Are you writing? I'm so interested. I want to know. I'm very nosy. And speaking of me being nosy, we're going to go ahead with our tradition of wrapping up. You can share one line from your whip or one good thing that happened this week. And I think for me, I'm going to share a good thing. And this is going to be a little sappy, so I hope you're ready to go there with me. But I was thinking, and I think my one good thing this week was the stream that I did on Saturday with Cody and Alyssa. And Cody, I don't know if you're still here, but that was so much fun. And I've just been reflecting a lot this year on how like nice and wonderful it is to meet new people. Um, I had 2 different experiences this year where I went on 2 separate, like, bachelorette trips for, um, 2 people that are very special to me, but that I didn't know anyone else on the trip, and so I was just going in to hang out with a bunch of new people, and as a 31-year-old, like, I have my circle, I have my network, and I don't, branch out very much, and I don't honestly meet new people and put in the effort to, like, get to know people. And those trips were so amazing. Like, the women that I spent that time with were so full of light, and I just loved getting to spend time with them. Like, truly, honestly, I was blown away by how nice it was to meet them, and just so glad that I got to talk to them and be encouraged by them and have their kindness. Like, I'm very sappy, obviously, about it, but it just really changed my perspective on how nice it is to welcome new people into my life in the most smallest of ways when it comes to like doing a YouTube stream, I know. But I've just been taking that perspective forward, and I had such a fun time with Cody and Alyssa, and it was so fun to laugh with them. And the thing about it is, like, when you have fun with people, it can feel like you've been hanging out with them forever. And that's kind of what these trips showed me, is I don't have to be scared of meeting new people. So that's my long, sappy answer. I promise I'm not always such a sap. um, Margot had a Halloween party at work today, which sounds so fun. Um, Miley's good moment is finishing the rough draft of my short story before my deadline. Whoop, whoop for that. Good job. Before deadline. Um, that is awesome. During the sprint, Miley started filling out character stuff for my favorite girl in the book. Fun. Um, JK ended up getting commissioned by one of my writer friends to make a mood board for her and got paid for it through my Ko-fi, bring me closer to my character fun goal, which is linked here. Oh my gosh, JK, this is so fun. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know that like getting paid to make mood boards was on the top of my dream job list, but it now is. That is so fun. And good for you for putting yourself out there, you know? What a great opportunity. Um, Making new friends and community is so scary and hard, but so rewarding. I love that for you. Thank you. I'm absolutely loving getting into this writing community. I'm so glad, Miley. That's so wonderful. Yeah, let us know what genre you're writing in so I can keep that in my brain. I want to know everything about y'all's projects. Um, Let me just make sure I got to everybody. Honestly, I might finish it tonight, seeing as Jacob's going to be gone for a while on his bike ride, but this is going to be my last book of the month regardless because it fits neatly in my reading journal. Yeah, I feel that. I'm finishing up notes from clinic, so kind of writing, but not the fun kind. Oh, okay. Well, I hope the clinic notes go by quickly. Um, oh, it sounds very brain draining, but hope it's over soon. Um, Seriously, the AuthorTube space has been so welcoming and kind. I know, I truly feel like this is my bias, but I truly feel like there's no other corner of YouTube that's like it. I'm sure there are lots of other lovely corners, but I often fall into the feeling that my parasocial relationships have become real friendships. And that's so wonderful. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. And continuing that. Oh my goodness. She actually had the tweet asking for mood boards, so I answered, and it took a while, but I did it, and I got the vibes on the first try. Oh my gosh, that means that you're good at it. You have a talent. That's awesome, JK. I've honestly only just gotten back into writing this year, so the portfolio is tiny, but I've been loving environmental fiction, fantasy, and thriller. That's so cool, Miley. I would love to learn more about environmental fiction. The short story was queer thriller, and this new book will be middle grade fantasy, I think, and we'll see how the age rating ends up. Oh my gosh, so cool. What's it like to be so multi-talented, you know? That's fantastic. Um, all right, guys. I think we've come to the end of the comments. Um, Thank you all so much for being here, for being part of our little community. Yay, middle grade. Um, I'm so thankful for everyone who came out tonight. It was so fun to have friends in the chat for our little virtual Halloween party. I loved hearing about your Halloween traditions, about your favorite candy bars, and about what costume you would wear tonight. It was so fun. It made me feel like I went to a little Halloween party, which is great because I didn't get to have one in person this year. So thank you for that. What is up on the horizon? Let me think here. I think I am going to be filming a vlog next week. I think I'm going to try and keep it short and do like another weekly vlog because I really enjoyed doing that when I made a weekly vlog a couple weeks ago. I had never done that before, and I was like, hey, what do you know? Filming a shorter vlog is kind of nice. So I have an exciting week coming up. Luke and I are going to our college town for a trip. We're going to go stay for the week. So I haven't been back since 2016. So I'm sure it's going to be super different. But I'm really excited to like bring my laptop back to those old cafes that are still there and, you know, stay in the historic downtown where we used to go out. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. Very much nostalgia. But I thought it would make a fun writing vlog to kind of capture how my writing goes when the routine is all shaken up and we're in a new place and we're having fun. So expect that probably at the end of November, though, because my work month is going to be nuts. So I'm fully expecting to film that and then just keep it in my back pocket until I have time to edit it. um, so stay tuned for that. I will also be doing a Lazy Gang stream with Malin later in November. And can I pull up the date that we decided on? 23rd. We're going to do a Lazy Gang stream on November 23rd. And then, of course, I will be back here by myself. Actually, not by myself. I think I have a special guest who's going to join me for my November stream on the last Wednesday. I'm so excited. I'm going to keep it a secret for now, but I hope you all will mark your calendars and make sure to be here on the last Wednesday of November because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to let y'all go. Enjoy the rest of your night. Good luck with your writing if you're going to keep writing tonight. And I will chat with you soon. Bye. Bye.